Hola, ¿qué tal, Panteras? Bienvenidos a un episodio más de Entre Panteras y Empresarios. El episodio de hoy tenemos una invitada en especial y el podcast será en inglés. So for today's episode of this podcast, we have a very special guest. She comes from very far away from India. Her name is Dr. Malini, and I'm going to just tell you a brief introduction on her activity and her profile, and then we're going to enjoy a conversation. So Dr. Malini is currently working as an associate professor at the Department of Management Studies in Entre, in Mekanashi Institute of Technology. That's in Bangalore, in India. She holds 18 years of experience of teaching and research in the areas of organizational behavior, human resource management, and supply chain and logistics management. She also holds a VTU guideship and currently guiding 3 research scholars in the area of human resource and marketing. She also has published papers in various national and international journals, and she presented papers in more than 13 national and international conferences. She also has 5 book chapters. So, Dr. Malini, thank you for accepting this interview. Thank you for sharing about yourself, about your culture, and about your professional activity as a professor. And I guess, first of all, tell me, how have you felt here in Mexico since you arrived? You have already 1 week here, more than 1 week.
Yeah, and 1.5 week
yes,
has passed. Yeah.
Tell me, what's been your experience so far? What did you expect, and how have you been experiencing?
Okay. First and foremost, it's my pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And so regarding the question of my experience over here, like I traveled from a longer distance till here, so with a lot of chaos, but finally when I reached Mexico, I could able to experience beautiful people over here. So I should say that their gesture and the kind of the vibes what they had given was very, very nice. They are very kind and beautiful. So the first experience was very good.
The people.
And yeah, the people over here, and whether it is like the hotel, or it may be the university people, or anybody I have met in Mexico, so they all were very good. And once this was an international faculty exchange program, so when I had to take up a class for the first time, we have a slightly different culture, and we have a classroom, a different decorum. And whereas I was curious to know like how would be the students' attitude, and how would be their behavior over here. Like my first visit, we made it before the commencement of our course on Friday. I could able to see the kind of interest what the students were having just have through my observations. And with that particular note and with the interaction with you, I got to know that what is the level of students' expectations from the faculty members.
Okay.
And based on which I could able to prepare accordingly, because the kind of the teaching pedagogy what we use it in India, and what people over here are expecting, so I could able to get some glimpse through you. So with that particular note, I started making my preparation. My first class, when I met the students, they were so good, so kind.
That's great to hear.
Actually, I was with the assumption like whether I could able to fulfill their expectations or not. But when we had the first interaction, and when I completed my first day session, I was contented, and I could see a smile on the students' face. That was a good feedback for me. So I could sense like students were happy with it.
That's great to hear, Malini.
Yeah, that was my first experience with the people and the students, which was actually good, and it is memorable one.
I guess I'm curious about because I went to pick you up at the airport, and you were telling me that a regular class or a normal class in India holds 60 students. Is that accurate?
Yes, that class capacity will be of that.
Tell me about that. You were saying that you were trying to find the main difference between the accommodations here and the ones you have in India.
Okay.
So tell me about, if I go to your university Entre in India, what would I find in terms of size of classrooms, in terms of campus?
Okay. First and foremost, the program which I am teaching and is a master's program, that is a master's in business administration, what we call it as MBA.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a 2 years program, and our institute is a Nite Meenakshi Institute of Technology. So we have a department which is having the intake capacity of 120 students. Okay. So the first year will be the common classes.
120 students.
120 students for first year.
Okay.
So when 120 students had to be accommodated, so we make it into 2 sections. Each section will have a 60 students. The classroom capacity will be of a 60. And as I mentioned, like our classroom will have certain decorums. Our class duration would be for 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours. And so with a capacity of nearly 45 to 50 hours, after that we give one refreshing break for them, and again we will be starting the next session. So the students are habituated onto concentrating on this particular lecture for a continuously 50 minutes.
That's interesting.
So wherein we need not have to have a kind of a issue like whether all are listening to us or not, because the decorum makes it in such a way that everyone will be concentrating on the lecturer who is standing on the podium, and the dais will be occupied by us, and they will be continuously listening to our lecture. And so we make it more interactive, and so some of the teaching pedagogies what we use will make them to participate. So that's how we never experienced that this is a larger classroom for us. But when we had this smaller groups, we experienced that in the second year. When the students gets into the specialization, so wherein the students will be opting for their area of interest.
Yeah.
So that will be a smaller group. A smaller group will range between our 20 to 30, 35, 40. Okay, so
that first group kind of splits into 3 smaller groups.
Yes, smaller groups, and we have a dual specialization. A student can have the liberty of opting 2 different specializations.
Okay.
So that's where the number slightly increases. Not uniform division of 3, but we have 5 specializations.
Okay.
So with the combination, so it works out. And the smaller group again will get a more focus because it's specialization. So the students will be there for their interest, and we will be teaching them. But over here, when I could able to experience with a smaller group size of a 7, I was like slightly assuming like okay, it is very small group. I can handle it in a very easy way.
It's another kind of challenge.
Yes.
No?
Actually, my confidence level boosted up when you mentioned about the number. But when I met the students, like each one are different.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
But that's where like me convincing some particular concept to one student may not be equivalent to the other. So that's where I could able to see that I should give the concentration to each one of them. It's not so easy.
And that is impossible when you have a 60 student
60,
capacity.
But the attitude is different over there. That's what I mentioned. Like we never leave the focus over there. But we 60, even though they are there, we will be addressing each and every student's issue. So whether they are able to concentrate, whether they are performing, because through our interactions we can able to get it. And but I can able to classify my class in India with respect to their level of observation and the level of absorption, like a fast learners and the slow learners.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and based on it, I can able to concentrate the slow learners by giving them the level of the questions which they can able to answer. And so that's where it was like we manage that 60 class. But when it comes to here as a 7, and each one were like taking and receiving it in a different way, so there I could able to sense that I should tap them individually. So that's where the difference lies.
Well, that speaks really well about your skill as a professor. You need to adapt to the different types
students
of types of groups that
true,
you get.
very true.
Malini, I guess that one thing that given our so different cultures, one thing that should be interesting to ask you is if you can tell us about your early life and the community that you grew up in, and maybe how does this influenced your career as a professor? At what was there, I guess one other question that I wanted to ask you is, was there like a breaking point where you said, I'm going to be a teacher, or does this has to do anything with my early life? Can you tell us about that?
Actually, I belong to one of the very what to say, a joint family kind. India is
we're similar here in Mexico. We also try to keep families together for as long as possible. But since we're a little bit influenced by American culture, you know that they split when they go to college. But we in Mexico, especially in the small town areas such as Aguascalientes, we try to keep it just like you tried.
Yes, actually I had received this similar kind of a feedback from the students as well when we were like discussing about some of the economic and family income and spending concept. So they expressed the same information. Coming to my journey, I can say like India is a multicultural place, and it is a multilinguistic nation. So you move from place to place, you can able to find a different set of a culture,
what
tradition.
What are the languages that you...
Actually, the place where we are residing, the language is named as a Kannada. Okay, there are almost hundreds together of languages in India, but officially languages are being official languages which are being given and authenticized by the Indian government has been written in our currency notes. The value of the currency notes in their respective languages, it has been written. Okay, so ours is in the southern India, so we speak Kannada. That is our mother tongue.
Okay.
And wherein we grow up, we are like 4 siblings. Like I am the third child, so wherein each one are different. My sister is the elder one is a bachelor holder, and she has got a different set of a taste in craft and all.
Okay.
And
what's her bachelor in?
A bachelor's in PCM. Actually, this is a science combination. Physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Okay. And my second elder sister is a doctor. She's a pediatrician.
So far, 3 women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all the 4. So she's a pediatrician, and she has done her expertise in neonatology. That is like kids within 1 month, so you will have a treatment, so if any kind of a health issues. So she has made her remarkable position in our place. So she has a very great name over there. She has saved many people's life over there. So by keeping them as a benchmark, and my father was a government servant. So he was working for a forest department. So and before to that, he was a teacher. Okay, so I think the vibes had come from there, I believe.
Okay.
And so by keeping my elder sisters in my mind, and my younger sister is again a doctorate. She has done her PhD in electronics and communication. She's also a professor in one of the university.
I guess
actually it is a mini professor's family, because my brother-in-law is also university, what you had specified, VTU. So he's a professor in management. So he works for that university. It's a government university where he works.
Okay.
So, and my husband is also a professor. So in the university where I work, he's Dr. Srinivas. His area of specialization.
Dr. Srinivas, right.
His area of specialization is in computer science. So wherein I'm actually bounded with the kind of the teaching professionals, and post to my masters. I was having this kind of a feeling like I am good at expressing the things to the people, so I should get into the teaching, because initially after my post graduation I took up working for one of the company where the office environment and system was not that giving me that happiness, or the
so it was kind of a rigid system.
Yes, rigid system, rules, regulations, targets, bondings, and I felt that I don't suit for this particular environment. I better match to the academics, and then I moved on, and I applied for one of the institute initially, and wherein I was teaching to the bachelor students, and that's where they started. In India, like, we have a emotional bonding with the teachers. So we believe like teachers are like gurus, and we pray them. So blessings from these kind of teachers will take us to the longer career and the life. So that's what they believe in, and where I could able to connect, and I felt that I was like contented. Like after a day completes, meeting this kind of youngsters was giving satisfaction. So I was thinking like this is my place, so I should make my career in academics, and that's where I settled with this.
You know, when we had our first virtual meeting, and I'm going to say this because I know that whoever listens and watch this on YouTube is going to notice your feasible personality and your kindness and stuff like that. Because when we had our first virtual meeting, I was like, she's so nice. She is willing to adapt to another culture and city, and we also did this process in record time, because you needed to get a visa.
Yes.
I think it was like a span of 1 month, maybe.
Very true.
And you were able to do it, and we were also we were in need to do the internal paperwork to do so. And you always were in an attitude of support and kindness. So
no, I need to mention over here, even like whatever the issues even we had, and whatever the approaches we were giving, you as a Marco and Vanessa, you people were like very supportive. I never experienced anything negative over there, like, because anything as a tougher thing I knew, I used to give it to you, so you used to receive happily and do it, and that was like giving me some more additional booster dose to come all the way here. Otherwise there were many stages at which it was like no for us, like my feasibility of coming to Mexico and teaching to the students were like almost like a question mark, but the kind of a gesture what you have shown and the support what you people had given was like giving me that boost. So thank you for that.
No. Thank you. Would you say, Malini, that this is a common thing between Mexico and India? So if I go to India, I will also.
I don't think so. Are you pointing at the hurdles or the constraints or the cultural barriers?
What I'm trying to say is that if I go to India, would I find people such as nice as yourself?
That is true. That is true. There is no second doubt about that, because Indians are very good, very sweet, very kind, but we are not like too much expressive. I think you might have sensed it, because like I myself is slightly reserved, so I take some time in terms of exposure, but too much of the expressions and providing like how the other part of the world, like US or UK, they are very expressive, and
Yes.
so you may not find that, but they are good at heart, so you cannot judge them with that particular expressions, but
Yeah, sure.
they are very supportive and kind. When it comes to your visit to India, like I can give 100% assurance on the students, because you might be thinking like how to handle the 60% of the class. I mean 60 as a strength in the classroom.
Yeah, it's
But
quite a challenge.
they may be 60 into 2, that is almost 120 eyeballs will be looking at you, and that may create a pressure, but each one of them will be listening to each and every word what you will be speaking without disturbing anything. They don't disturb the class. They will be like very attentive till the time you don't give them the space to talk. They will be alert, they'll be attentive, and if they have a query, they'll raise hand and they will approach you. And if the things are like, if they could able to connect you, then they are like take you to their heart, and they will show all good gestures.
You know what amazes me when I'm listening to you as you're saying this, the level of certainty that
Yes.
you have on saying this, almost as if you could sign it with your own blood, you know, right? I guess what I'm trying to say is, do you think that this is happening only in universities in India, this level of respect towards a teacher, or does this happen in any other areas?
I mean, like in academics, I can say it's S, because everyone passes through that, whether it is school or a college, because we have that Gurukul system, so where the saints used to preach to the kids, and we have come from a history where there was not used to be a good infrastructure for the schools or so. So under beneath the tree, the people used to preach or teach. The culture has begun over there, and then there was a place created called Gurukul, where people used to leave their kids over there for learning things and come back. Okay, so that's where the history has curated.
For how much time, Malini?
It depends on how quickly you are going to learn the things. Okay, this I'm talking about ancient time. Okay, where the culture of treating or respecting the teachers as gurus. They like after your God, after your parents are also being treated like a God in our culture, and then comes gurus. There are prayers in the name of gurus. Okay, so and many of them believe that if a guru blesses a kid with wholeheartedly, then it is like the God has blessed.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there a system for a teacher or a high figure to become a guru? Or who can become a guru?
Anybody. For example, many of them believe that their mother has taught them various good value systems. Then mother is a guru for them. So who is your first guru? Mother, because mother teaches how to pronounce, how to behave, what is good, what is right, what is wrong. So when mother can teach you that, then she is automatically a guru.
And you can pray to your own mother,
Yes,
in a sense of...
That's where we believe that any good thing, if we wanted to go out, we touch mother's feet and parents' feet.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That is just like a blessing. And I think this culture, even you might have seen, like when Modi ji visits some of the foreign nations, some of the prime ministers have touched his feet. If you are aware, like we have almost donated to 24 nearly, I'm not very specific with the number, the COVID vaccine to almost 100 countries for free of cost. We have exported it, and that has helped a lot of people to secure. And the Indian two vaccines were very famous during that particular period of time. That is Covaxin and Covishield. And
Covax. Covax is one of the vaccines that arrived here to Mexico.
Covaxin and Covishield for free of cost we have exported, and especially the smaller countries were like having a high level of a gratitude. So they respect Modi because of this kind of a kind gesture. So that touching of a feet is nothing but you are bowing and you are expecting a blessing from the elders. So Modi is like considered as an elder and blessing. Same way with mother and father and my grandparents. So when we touch, whenever we wanted to go and do some good work, so we take the blessings and we go.
That's such a beautiful thing to hear, because I think it's a way to understand the things of heaven, if I may say like that, but on earth, right?
Yes.
On the contact that
culture
we have.
In India, like you have many things to know, many things to learn, and there are critics on Indian blind beliefs, but if you dig on to the history, you'll get to know that there is a scientific connect for each one of it.
That's interesting.
So that's I think I wanted to endorse that, and I'm happy and glad to do that. It's like this. And your question related to, do we need to do something to occupy the position of a guru? No. So you are teaching one, like when I'll teach to 60 students, so all 60 may not be getting influenced out of my teaching. If I could able to convert at least one or two students with a good value system or a good the thinking and attitude, if I could able to change him, so that is an achievement as a guru for me. And that student itself is my feedback, my mirror, and that's sufficient. So we feel contented out of that. And the teachers, that is what it is, and we consider it as a noble profession. Out of all, it is most respected profession in India, and people respect a lot. And that gives you like a goosebumps when you think about it, like
of course
the level of the gesture, the kindness and the students give, and respect when they give, your esteem will raise automatically. You need not have to have your other forms of things to raise your esteem level, but this psychological feel is sufficient.
No, it's really beautiful, that feel of achievement from someone that you taught, right? Who was that figure for you? Who was that teacher? Besides, you already told me about your father and the what he represents for you, but do you have a story with a teacher that you are really grateful for him or her?
Actually, when we used to be in the school, usually we automatically, without much knowledge, will have somebody as a role model. I used to have one maths teacher like that, who has during our school period, like our play time, like he used to teach us the tougher things in a very play way. And I was thinking, like, we have learned many things without having a systematic way of learning. So he's somebody who is like feeding the tougher things in a very easy and a smaller way. Then I started getting influenced out of him, and I started imitating that person when I go back home and all. So people were like telling, like, you, after you grow up, you may be a teacher. So they actually some of my neighbors who were liking me were telling, like, you are going to be a good teacher in the future. So that was like a play time, so I never took it so that seriously. But when actually I completed this particular PhD and happens to visit my particular place where I grew up, and people were telling, like, finally you have become teacher. See,
we knew it.
Yeah, they were having 100% assurance, like, I will be the teacher, but I myself was not having that confidence. Whether I can stand in front of the people and I can explain them the concept which they are supposed to learn. They were happy actually for what I have become. So then this kind of a gestures from my the people who are surrounding had boosted my morale even more. One point of stage when you know that every woman undergoes this work-life balance, and that was the stage where I was also in a dilemma, like whether I need to continue this or I need to sacrifice everything for my kid. But my family supported during that period. My husband supported, and even my daughter was very supportive. And she was adoptable. She was adjusting to the various changes which has undergone. And I should thank each one of them that what I'm today is because of them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Without their support, I don't think so I would have been here like this.
And that's amazing that math teacher that you had in your early life.
Difficult to pronounce the name. That's the reason I have not taken. But his name is Basavaraj.
Come again, please.
Basavaraj. Yes.
All right,
actually, India has got a culture like keeping the name behind the name of a god. So Basava is actually a bull.
Okay.
Okay. So we pray that also, like so in the name of that, it's the one.
Okay.
So was very kind enough. So because of which he has influenced me too.
Sure. And we you mentioned your daughter right now.
Yeah.
You have one daughter.
Yeah, I have a daughter.
And how old is she? And what's his actual journey right now?
Okay, actually she's 18 years old.
Okay.
And she has completed her plus 2. That is like in India. After plus 2, you are supposed to enroll for any of the bachelor's degree.
Okay.
So right now she's waiting for that. So we need to enroll her for. Actually, we are planning to enroll her for engineering program.
Okay.
So we are looking for it. And this is actually a peak time for her. So where my counseling was essential, but she told my husband is there, as I mentioned, at every stage when I'm in a dilemma. So they are there for my support. They told we will take care. So that's the reason I'm here again. So otherwise, it's the right time for her to admit to any of the programs. So we should be in a position to visit the universities and give the admission.
Now that you mention, and just to wrap up and try to close this conversation with you, now that you mentioned that your daughter is kind of trying to get into engineering school, what do you think about the current landscape in worldwide in business, where Indian CEOs are becoming prominent because Google CEO is
Microsoft CEO.
That's right.
Yes.
Adobe and so many other big companies. And what's your opinion on that? And how do you think that the scope that your daughter on choosing engineering is towards those kind of figures?
Actually, you can say that India has got a talent pool. People are having a high level of talent, and but we have a kind of a stereotypic thing, like if you are highly qualified or if you are securing a good marks, then people either choose towards a medicine to be a doctor, or engineering as a one more which is a demanding program. But the all other courses comes after that. So that's the reason India produces large number of engineers every year. And like, even as a typical traditional mother, my focus for my daughter is again onto the computer science, because Bangalore is dominated with this computer science,
Sure.
and this is called as a Silicon Valley, and we have a large number of MNC and IT firms which are residing over there, and I wanted my daughter to make her career in this particular area, and her computer science score in the in the plus 2 is also very good, so compared to other subjects. So I was also proud enough, and again, father's influence, he is also computer science engineer. So by looking into all this, I felt like yes, this is the right place for her. And but otherwise, if you have a general understanding, Indian students having a lot of a zeal towards doing something new. And especially NMIT endorses on that. We have lot of the Center of Excellences which has been created, and Idea Labs which are created, and every year for various kinds of hackathons or any kind of a competition, whether it is inside India or outside India, they send the students, and we have a long-lasting record. Like they have won at the international awards and the competition, the students I meant to say, so have won, and they have brought a pride to the institute. So that's where we are one among it, and many other premium universities so are providing this kind of opportunity for the students. So I can say like the only constant, like what we are right now facing is a brain drain.
Okay.
Most of the talents, why when you have taken either Sundaram Pichai or these people, they have moved from India to other nation, so to contribute. So most of the people, talented people, after completing, they are moving abroad for gaining a higher educations or upskilling themselves, and unfortunately hardly few percentage of them are returning.
But you still have a powerful country in terms
Yes.
of economy and,
Yes,
and
yes,
doing
that-
business.
Yes, that's very
So
true.
imagine if you were able to keep them in your
Yeah,
territory.
in that's what even Modi is trying his level best to create such kind of opportunities that the students who are moving away for gaining more education, so that opportunity let us create it in India itself, or the job opportunities what they are seeking abroad, so will be creating, so that the good set of students who are moving away, or the brains which is getting drained out, so let us pull it back to India so that they contribute over here, and our economy dream of Amritkal Mahotsav, so that is our freedom is taking 100 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay, in a short period of time, so that is 2047. So we wanted by the time all these aspirations as a goal or a target should be achieved. So
That sounds like a great planning.
yeah. So there are
government.
various plans they are having in terms of achieving for this Amrit Kal Mahotsav, that is golden moment for India after freedom of
In what year did you say?
100 years.
100 years, but when are you going to achieve that 100 years?
Actually, we got independence in 1947, so 2047, so we will be completing one complete century.
Well, Malini, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Same here.
Thank you. I think your culture and you have a lot of things to offer, and well, I hope that this this momentum that we have right now can be only the ignition of something greater and bigger, as I know it will be. And well, I don't know if you have a special message to our listeners. Do you want to say something special, or you can just say your goodbyes?
Okay, it was my short journey to Mexico. Even though I had undergone a slight chaos to land here, but after entering into Mexico and Aguascalientes, so after meeting the people and the stay of my almost 2 weeks has given me a kind of satisfaction that whatever I had undergone, it is just like a very, very small amount, but I am gaining every day the new things. I'm learning many things from the students, from you people, the culture, and it is like I'm feeling like I'm an ambassador for sharing the culture and then receiving some kind of a culture from here, and I'm taking it back, and each day is a memorable day, and I'm thanks to the university and Marco that you had given me this opportunity to wrap more number of memories from here, and all very good memories. The place is very beautiful. We happens to go to the various museums to learn more about your culture, and it was very, very beautiful. What I used to see in the media, so now practically I'm experiencing it here. So, and I'm very happy, and you all are very beautiful people, and thanks for that.
Thank you, Malini.
Okay.
Thank you for those kind words, and thank you everyone for listening. See you next